Well, good morning YouTube, and welcome along to part 2 of me trying to fit this windscreen onto the Cub. Now, as you saw in the last video, I had a bit of a problem with regards to the finish on the brackets that hold the windscreen onto the bike. The paint job that I did was okay, but that's all it was, and it didn't really take very well. Orange peel, looked a bit naff, to be honest. So I took it down to the powder coaters, and they actually managed to do the job a lot quicker than I thought they would. I took it down on Monday and it was ready Tuesday, yesterday. I picked it up yesterday afternoon, and this morning I'm going to be putting it all back together again and getting it on the bike, I hope. Now, as you can probably see from the pictures, I've already attached it to the windscreen, the brackets that is. I'll just take this cover off. Pop that down there, and as you can probably see now, the brackets are fairly firmly attached onto the windscreen. It was just a case of sliding it down into the holes on these clamps and just nipping them up a little bit so that they were more or less where I want them. And when I stand it up on there, it is pretty level across the top. Now, another thing that I did, which I'll show you a bit closer, is the nuts and bolts that hold it all together on here were just simply finished in stainless steel, which I thought kind of stood out a little bit, so I wanted them doing in black as well. So whilst the brackets were at the powder coaters, I popped these through a bit of cardboard and just generally gave them a coating of black paint, and they don't look too bad at all, as you can probably see from the photographs now. So the next part of the job is going to be undoing the nuts and bolts that hold the handlebars onto the bike, and getting the new nuts and bolts and these two brackets fitted. So let's move over to the bike now. Okay, so as you can see, the first thing that I've done on here, apart from putting a towel over this to protect any possible scratches, is I've put a couple of bit of masking tape on there, and I've drawn a straight line across so that I can get the orientation right for the handlebars in case they come a bit loose. Now, the instructions suggest that you slacken off both these here, take both of these out, and then the handlebars will immediately drop backwards. But what I might actually try and do is slacken one off, take that out, put the new bracket on, tighten it up, then slacken this one off, take the bolt out and put the new bracket on, and then tighten that one up. So I shall do it that way rather than taking the whole thing off and expecting it all to just flop down. So first things first, let's get those 13mm bolts down there slackened off. Hopefully this will do it without causing any damage. They are quite tight. There we go. Starting to move. Coming. It will slowly but surely. Here we go. And out it pops. Put that to one side. I'll get the bracket and the bolt, and we'll get that on. So here's the bracket ready to go on, and as you can see, I've put in the the bolt and the little captive nut in there so that that nips up the bracket perfectly onto the bike. So we've got the whole system there with this bolt here, so let's get it all put back on here. That's a start. And now for the other side. Right, just slacken this one off a bit. And we'll pop this one out of the top. And the other bracket and bolt is here. Nip it up with the Allen key. Now I'm just doing these finger tight effectively because I don't want them to be too tight, because obviously I'll have to adjust these a little bit for getting the actual brackets in place. So I think we can take that tape off now and we can offer up the windscreen. So just a little bit of pushing and shoving just to get the knurled parts into the brackets, and they'll go in, and just a bit more. That's one, and come on, you can do it. That's the other. Now, looking at this clearly, the windshield is way too high up, so it needs to come down on these brackets a little. I can do that by just teasing it downhill. Not too much. Down to where I want it, roughly there, level with that. There we go. Right, now the way I've adjusted it is I've now managed to slide it down this bar so that that is absolutely flush and level at the bottom on both sides, and job's a good one. So just now a case of making sure it's all square. I'll come around the front. Check that out, that looks okay to me. That's all nicely squared off there. Yep, happy with that. So now it's just a case of tightening everything up. So we'll start with the two big ones on here. Get them good and tight. And then I shall torque them up afterwards. Now I've made sure also that I've got clearance here for the keys to go in. You can see I've got the keys here. They're going just nicely there, out of the way. So I've not got a problem with that. So right, tighten everything up. Right, so that's all the nuts and bolts tightened up all around there. All that remains now is for me to tighten these two up, and the job's pretty much done, apart from the torquing up, of course. So that's it, the windscreen is now firmly on the bike. Let's take a bit of a walk around and have a look at it. So that's it. The windscreen is now on the bike, and I think you'll agree that it looks really good. I'm really pleased with the results. It's come out really well. It's something that I think I'm going to enjoy riding with. Now, of course, although everything is on the bike, I now need to get out there and actually ride it and see what I think. So what I'm going to do now is tidy everything up, put everything away, and then first opportunity I get, I'm going to get out on the bike, probably either tomorrow or Friday, and we'll have a little report on how it goes. So until then, I'll stop at this point, and we'll pick it up later. Bye for now. Oh, hello again, YouTube. As you can see, I'm out on the Cub now, and yesterday I finished fitting the windscreen on here. As you can see, it doesn't look bad at all. I think the powder coating certainly made a difference to the brackets on here. I didn't particularly want them in chrome, it would have just stood out too much. I think in black they look really nice. Now, one thing I've noticed pretty much immediately since fitting this windscreen is, well, I suppose it's fairly obvious, but I'm not getting the turbulence on my chest that I used to on here. There's pretty much clean air, so there's no buffeting. I'm going to check out what effect it has with regards to wind noise. Obviously I can't do that until I get home and review the video, but I have a feeling it's going to be pretty much okay. Now I'm only doing about, what, 40 at the moment. I'm going to see what it's like when I wind it up a little bit more when I get the opportunity. Now normally I would go down through Otley and then make my way through Asquith and what have you, along that nice country lane. But as I want to see what the wind noise is like at slightly higher speeds, I'm going to go down the dual carriageway here now, and that was quite a big bump. I didn't see that until the last minute. Yeah, I'm going to go down the dual carriageway here and open it up a little bit and see what it's like at slightly higher speeds. The wind noise, I mean, of course. So we're up to 50 miles an hour now. Just about 60 now, and I think that's pretty much as fast as I would ever go on this bike. So check out the wind noise when I get back. I hope it's okay. if we pause here for a moment, you can see the lambs in the field. Oh heck, it's like we've got a bit of flooding here. Oh my word, nice and steady through this. Oh dear. I think the bottom of the bike has had a wash, sort of. Well, at least I didn't get my feet wet. I'm going to stop at that bend in the river and just see how high it is there. Wow, looks like the emergency services are doing a bit of practice as well. But it's really full, look at that. All round there, that's usually dry there. Somebody over there, I don't know what they're doing, is it a barbecue or something? Hardly the weather for it. We'll stop here for 5 minutes, maybe grab a coffee. So what do I think of this windscreen? Now I've been riding with it for about 45 minutes or so, an hour, and I have to say it's absolutely spot on. It does what it says on the tin. It basically keeps the wind off my chest. I'm pretty sure it'll keep a fair bit of rain and weather off as well. So yeah, I'd give it a thumbs up for sure. Right then, we're here at the Cow and Calf, and I think it's time for a coffee. Who would have thought it? 2 Royal Enfields on the same day in the same car park. Right, let's hit the road. Right, well, I'm going to make my way home now. I had a very nice cup of coffee and bacon sandwich there at the Cow and Calf Cafe, and I think we can safely say that this windscreen is a hit. I'm very pleased with it. It does as it's supposed to do, keeps the weather off, keeps the wind off, and hopefully doesn't affect the sound quality on the mic. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I'm going to end the video in my usual way by saying, look after yourselves, look after the people around you, and of course until next time, bye for now.